Okay, I'm just gonna do a reflection really quick on the 2 articles and the website. I just have them pulled up on my laptop right now just for reference when I go back to them. But so for the 2 articles, I read through. The first one is the importance of teaching handwriting. The second one is the 6 reasons why handwriting matters. So first of all, just like knowing I was going to be reading about handwriting, I just know it's important. All kids need to be able to do it for the most part, like if with their fine motor skills and stuff like that. Handwriting is very important for worksheets, just like, you know, coloring, writing your name at the top of the paper, stuff like that. Handwriting is good for when you have to type on the computer, just because then you know letter by letter what's what. So the importance of teaching handwriting, that article I thought was super interesting. It talked about like the importance of it. The one thing that I found really cool on it was not really cool, but like really interesting, was the assessment of handwriting skills. And that's how you observe how the child is doing with their handwriting, the legibility and the speed that they can write. So like at a 3rd grade level, if they should be able to be writing this word, know how to spell it and everything at this speed, how well they're doing, like you just observe them doing that. And if like you can read it, because I know some kids, they have a hard time, all their letters just get like crumpled in between, like you can't tell what you're reading. But so I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't really know how you'd assess handwriting, but like it makes sense once you think about it. The next article was the 6 reasons why handwriting matters. And one of the things on this as well was talking about how pen and paper boosts memory. And I actually thought that was really interesting, because now I know I take all my notes on my computer, but it would make sense that using pen and paper is more beneficial. You're writing down, you're really thinking about what you're doing, writing letter by letter, whereas on the computer you're not really focusing as much because you can just do it without thinking about it. But I think that's great for students to learn, and that's why I think electronics are kind of iffy now when you think about them in the classroom. There's so many pros and so many cons, and I think this could be one of the cons, is that they're not using pen and paper all the time. And it also talked about handwritten correspondence is more meaningful, and I thought that was really cool, because I used to write my parents notes all the time, like all like these cute, I draw them stuff, this and that, and I just think as a student, as a child, for me, that meant so much for me when they got it. I always loved making my own thing for them, and maybe I'm just speaking for my parents, but I feel like when I'm a parent, I'm gonna love getting that. Like it's like I know it's gonna mean something because they made it themselves and like took the time to do it with their own like handwriting and their own skills and stuff like that. And lastly, the website. So this one, I was a little bit confused at first. I was reading a little bit on what like fine motor skills they need for it, and then I was looking into it a little bit more, and it talked about different things like pencil grips and like stuff like that, but I focused on the pencil grip ones because I was kind of curious. And it talked about the author said most kids do not need to use pencil grip. I really rarely recommend having a student use a pencil grip, and when I do recommend it, it means the grip really helps. So I thought that was interesting, just because I know some teachers who do use pencil grips, and obviously this person doesn't see a big need for them, but I thought that was interesting because I know some students have a hard time and pencil grips are like the only way to go. But yeah, I thought this whole website in general was super helpful. It also talks about simple line following, spacing between words, stuff like that. And I think as a teacher, this would be great for me to look into, just to know and make sure I'm keeping my students on track.